And when it's out there, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it comes back to you.
I'm trying to mimic what my husband is doing so you can see how it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It almost sounds like a tornado, where it starts as a little spout and then it just keeps increasing inside until it's just this mass.
Well, except that tornadoes destroy.
Correct.
But keep in mind that you can change that. What comes back to you can be huge in size, but it's all good stuff.
Because of the
what
way
you put out.
Put things out there.
So if you put out good things, if you're thinking good thoughts about people, you want them to succeed, you see yourself as a winner, as a champion, as the optimal father and parent and spouse and whatever else, then that's what will come to you. But when it comes back to you, it's going to be magnified. Right? But if you see yourself as a failure and you want your neighbors to fail and you hate your parents and you hate everybody in the world, then that goes out and then it magnifies. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it comes back, it does feel like a tornado.
Okay.
Because it's karma that's coming back at you. So what do you want? Do you want karma or do you want dharma coming back at you?
I want the dharma. I want the dharma. Okay, so now with karma, that sounds like it explains why bad things happen to good people, because that's a question so many individuals ask. Oh, that man, he went to church all the time, he was always serving at the poorhouse and doing all these good deeds, and now he's got cancer, he was in a car accident, all these bad things are happening to him. Again, from what you just explained, that's all karmic related.
It's all karma, yes. But see, that should be a separate video, because that's
another topic.
Some of the things can be right.
Sorry, jumping the gun there.
But yes, that's all karma related.
Okay.
Anybody that you encounter in your life, it could just be someone you're passing in a store. Mm-hmm. If you say hi to that person, say hello, you have a short conversation with that person, that's karma being balanced of some kind. People don't think about that, but that's how it works. And that's why I always tell our kids, right? We had a talk last night, I think, about you should always listen to everybody. Mm-hmm. It could be someone that looks like an alcoholic. They could be smelling of alcohol, but they're talking to you, you listen, because that could be an angel in disguise guiding you.
Okay.
Everyone has pearls of wisdom to share. It has nothing to do with how they look, has nothing to do with how they smell, it has nothing to do with even how they sound. What's important is that you pay attention and treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect everybody. That's very important, because you want to put dharma out there. Okay.
What about these natural disasters, like you spoke about the flooding of the earth? I mean, there are all kinds of earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, and tsunamis, just the burning fires in Australia, and people are dying in all these events. That's their karma too?
It's karma related. Yes, it's all karma related. And I didn't say yes, it's their karma as well. It's karma related, and the reason why I say that is from my experience in dealing with individuals and seeing past lives of individuals. I have seen where two people might have to interact because the one person is being given the opportunity to correct something they did in the past. Okay. So it's not both of them that are correcting something, it's the one person. But they need the other person there because that was the same person that was involved the first time.
Okay.
See, so it's karma related. It's not this person's karma, it's the other person that's been given a second chance. But unfortunately, the other person has to be there because their soul was involved in the first place. Okay,
so that explains people, but what about these countries?
Same thing. Everything has energy in life. Everything in life is energy related. Your glasses has energy, that's why it is the way it is. It vibrates a certain frequency. Your shirt has a certain frequency, that's why it looks the way it does. Everything is based on energy. Well, because of that, then everything has karma tied to it because of the individuals that use it, because individuals that are present on it, in it, for example, in a country, when it comes to a country, there are people that are there, and their karma then affects that place. And if it becomes overwhelming, where something has to be done to clear that karma, because not enough of it is being balanced, then that's when we have like Noah's flood, or the flood that took Noah's ark. That's when those things happen. We have those natural phenomena, as they're referred to clean
Disasters to most people.
Exactly, to clean out all that energy, and start anew. Start with something brand new, get new energy, and then hopefully the new inhabitants will do some good things, create some dharma for that place.
Okay, so is it the same thing then with war, where these governments go and they make mandatory enlistment of individuals, men and women, and send them off to go fight battles?
Yeah, it's all karma related. You're not, I'll put it this way to speak positively, wherever you are, you're there for a specific reason. All right? It's never a coincidence. The people get in car accidents and they call them accidents because they don't expect them, right?
Right.
But that person was there because they're supposed to be there. Now that might sound hard, especially if the person loses his or her life.
Yes.
But that's just the way it is. Think about it. Have you ever heard of people, you and I could go across the street at the same time. There are two 18-wheelers coming from each side of the road, and just one lane, right, on each side. And you cross, you don't even get hurt at all. And then I die. I get run over by a truck by one of those 18-wheelers. How is that possible?
Well, based on our conversation, it's karma.
Exactly. I was there to die, and your karma has nothing to do with you dying there or being hit by an 18-wheeler. So guess what? You won't.
Yeah, he got smashed by that 18-wheeler and I did not. Saved myself there.
And that's how it works.
Okay.
And people will say, oh, well, then you were lucky, or you were blessed, or an angel came and got you. And maybe they did. But the point is that because of your dharma, or your karma, whichever way you look at it, your karma was not related to anything happening to you at that specific time, at that specific location. While mine said, you're going to die here.
Got it.
That was written already. Now that can change, by the way, depending on what you do with your karma. If I were balancing my karma, for example, I might not have to deal with that because I already balanced that situation and I don't have to go through it. And that's why we pray. That's why we focus on treating people we want to be treated.
Okay.
Because as we do that, then things change. Because people might ask. I already hear people ask.
I'm about to ask it myself. How else can you balance karma besides doing acts of good works and kind things and serving one another?
Well, you pray.
Pray?
You know?
Just any prayer?
Any prayer. It doesn't matter what religion you are. People think that, we were brought up to think that if you're not Catholic, you're doomed.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yes, I know that. If you're not part of the Catholic faith and receiving all those sacraments, you're going to be...
You're going to, where.
I don't really believe that anymore.
But that's the way
But I'm
it was,
still
right?
Catholic.
And see, that's the point, right? That's where we were brought up. We've come to realize that that's not the case, really.
Right.
It's not like Catholicism is better than you being a Jehovah's Witness, or a Jehovah's Witness is better than a person that's Buddhist. We know better than that because they're all God related.
Right.
And how could one part of God be better than a part of God? I mean, think about that. That doesn't compute, as we'd say, from the computer side. It just doesn't compute.
Okay.
They're all from God. So, what led to that? I don't remember. I don't know what I was saying.
Lots of train of thought. We were talking about karma and war is what the question was, the last question that I had asked. And you had said that everywhere that we are in life, we're there for a reason.
Oh, right, that's right, about praying.
About praying is how we got to that from there.
So, for example, as Catholics, we pray.
Right.
But if you're Buddhist, you will chant. Right?
Okay.
And then in the teachings, like in the Bible, the Bible it says, decree and so shall it be. So in the teachings, we're taught that we should decree, which is just another form of prayer. It's like chanting, right?
Okay.
But it's somewhat like chanting. But they're all powerful, and they're all tools that help us balance karma. And what we're doing is we're manipulating the energy around us so that we balance the negative energy that we've created. That's all it is. When we pray, that's what we're doing. We're sending out positive energy to get rid of negative energy, to cancel it. When we decrease, the same thing. When we chant, it's the same thing.
Okay.
And the more you chant, the more you pray, then you don't have time to think about negative things. So you don't have time to, there was a saying when I was growing up, it went like, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I've heard that.
Okay. No, we're British, so we had to know those sayings. I forgot what they called them. Anyone that's British will know it's called a student's companion, right? But we had to learn all these sayings, and that was one of our teacher's favorite. An idle mind is a devil's workshop, so you have to stay busy. And that's why, because if you're not praying, if you're not chanting, you think about all kinds of crazy things.
And as you pointed out earlier, thoughts can become things.
Exactly. No, they are things.
They are things.
Right? So you want to be, if you don't want to think crazy thoughts, imagine you're out there, and then you're calling me and I'm not answering, which happens a lot. And then you start thinking, what is my husband doing? He must be with a woman out there, like having an affair. Because what happened there?
I would not think that.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
For example's sake.
Right.
Well, that would be creating an energy where then it might even happen if I'm thinking about it and dwelling on it.
Well, not only that, but then I come home, right? And then you say, where have you been? Oh, I was with Jackie. What were you doing, right?
Right.
Next thing you know, you're accusing me of having an affair with Jackie. And now you're creating something, right? But what have you done? You just accused somebody of something, two people of something. You just created karma. Do you know that?
No.
Yes, that's how it works. Because you're accusing somebody of something that they haven't done.
That's a negative thing.
Exactly, it's a negative thing. So how do you deal with that? If you're praying all the time, if you're decreeing, or if you're chanting, you don't have time to think those idle thoughts. Because all you're doing is thinking about God the whole time. So that's why you do that. So
then we should always make sure that our decrees, prayers, thoughts are always positive and not saying,
God,
protect my sons so they don't get into an accident. And you say more like, thank you, God, for keeping us.
Positive. I didn't think about that.
Because a lot of prayer that I grew up with was like, you're always asking, for, like you're begging in a way, not even asking for anything. Oh God, please help me with this. I can't get through it on my own. And from what you're saying, they do.
Right.
And from what you're saying, it should be something more positive, like, God, I thank you for taking control of the situation and for protecting my family.
Well, let me ask you this question. If I give you something, right? Like I took your glasses and then I just give you your glasses, what would you say?
Thank you.
Why would you say thank you?
Because I appreciate what you've done for me.
What did I do?
You gave me my glasses.
So why are you thanking me?
Because you didn't have to do that.
No, but it's because I gave you the glasses, right?
Right.
And you have the glasses.
Right.
And you said thank you.
Yes.
I don't think you get the point.
No, I don't.
Okay. The point is this. You said thank you because you received your glasses.
Right.
You have your glasses.
Right.
So it's not a question of whether or not you have your glasses. You already have them. And because of that, you're thanking me. Right?
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with God. If you know that God has already given you something, then why are you asking for it?
Because I don't physically see it manifest, maybe?
See the issue?
Yes.
But you have to know, see, we are the, I have to see it in order to believe it type of people.
Right.
But you have to know everything in life is spiritual. All right? Everything happens in the spiritual realm before it comes to earth. Jesus, the Father's prayer, in that prayer, he said what?
On earth as it is in heaven.
Yes.
So it's already there. We just have to be grateful and thankful that it is already there.
Exactly.
And then it will manifest in our lives.
That's how it manifests. You know, she said what? It is
done on earth as it is in heaven.
He didn't say it is done in heaven as it is on earth. It's the other way around.
Right.
It's done on earth as it is in heaven. As in, it's already
done in heaven, and we're making it manifest here on earth.
If you know that, okay, then I always ask the question, do you think that Jesus lies?
No.
Okay, so if he said that it's already done in heaven, that if it's done in heaven, it's already done on earth, then why don't you believe it?
Because of the prayers I had growing up. The prayers I had growing up didn't let me believe that.
See, you don't believe Jesus.
Only good things happen to other people who don't do right things all the time.
You don't believe Jesus. And Jesus, see?
I'm sorry, Jesus. I do believe you.
And Jesus tells the truth, right? He doesn't lie.
Right.
And he's telling us that it happens on earth the way it is in heaven. So we have to know that Jesus is telling us the truth. And because of that, we always just thank God. We don't go asking him for anything because he's already told us that it's already in heaven. All we have to do is bring it down to earth. And how do we do that? That's what we co-create with God.
Make sure Roy's creating positive energy.
Exactly.
And not the negative one that we started off talking about, karma.
Which is the karma, right. So if you don't believe Jesus, and I'll keep pounding that so folks understand that the reason why they might be having a challenge because they don't believe Jesus and what he said. That's what Jesus said, what? In my Father's kingdom there are many mansions.
Right.
So if you don't have a place to live right now, why don't you have one? Jesus
because
just
I
said,
don't believe that I have one.
Exactly.
Even though there's already one there. There should be one on earth as it is.
Not just
in
any
heaven.
kind, it's a mansion.
Right.
We don't even live in a mansion. That tells you how much we don't believe in Jesus. We have to go work
Some
on
people
that.
call it a mini mansion.
No. Jesus didn't say mini mansion, he said mansion. Okay? So that's the point. Anyway, that's how it works. And that's part of karma. That again, we receive what we put out. So it all goes back to, and that's how we've always done our best to live our life based on the Bible and based on the teachings. Like I said, it becomes a way of life. We don't go preaching it, we just live it as best as we can.
Right.
Because the more you do that, then you start to understand that this is how it is. Jesus said it and that's it. There is no question about whether or not it has happened. If Jesus said it, it's done.
Okay.
That's all part of karma.
All right. Thank you for explaining about karma. If anyone has any questions or sparked a thought and you wanted to get some more clarification on something, please be sure to comment in the section below. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to this video and share it with others if you feel it might help them as well. There will be more videos to come.